Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He's going to look deep now for Lamb. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Browns. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly, and you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
On second down, it's Jones. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Regular. Mark 50. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. First down, Steelers. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. First carry for James Conner. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
the 48-yard line.
Here we go, set. 53 to Mike. 53. Check 53. Watch the back.
On 2nd and 11 now. Darnold. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. But it's brought in by Washington. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 30.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers to, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? If as a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Now, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series.
At the Browns' 29-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go draw play. This is Samuels. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And I think the Browns got it. They did. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Alert, 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 alert. Mike 50, Mike 50. Yeah. You don't want none. Slam, slam, slam.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. T.J. Watt in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Mayfield. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Stephon Tuitt in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Jones has it. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
At their own 34-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they will be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. He's going to launch it for Washington. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. The shotgun snap for Darnold. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Check, check, 59.
On 1st and 10 is Connor, and he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From the 50, it's Darnold. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. With touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. Joseph now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Darnold. Complete to Washington. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Darnold now to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Check, 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 check. Man, 80.
faking the give. Darnold stepping up. He's going to keep it. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Darnold. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 22-yard line.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
Mayfield. He completes it to Jones. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Alert, alert! Alert, alert!
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. Sean Davis that time on the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Come get some. Come on here. Come on.
Throwing. Mayfield. Caught by Jones. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
16 more yards. And the Browns 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Hey, alert, alert! Alert, alert!
They go back to the ground with Jones. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game. And
Mayfield now. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
the big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. Joseph now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On second down, Samuels. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
They really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side. 2nd and 7. Now Darnold. Going up top. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Cleveland offense ready to go. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. Complete to Jones. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Switch! Alert, alert! Alert, alert!
This is Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
I got you, punk.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Going deep here for Landry. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. He was looking for Landry that time, and it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it with Jones. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. From the 29, Darnold. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Darnold now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. First down run for Connor, not going to get much, maybe a yard. 2nd down. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Darnold, and this one caught by Cameron Brain. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. On 1st and 10, Darnold. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
That's fielded in the end zone.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
First down, Mayfield. This complete to Jones. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Mayfield to throw it. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Switzer on the return. That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Man, I got you.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the post.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mayfield off the play fake. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man. It's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. Jones has it. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that. want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From the 31, Darnold looking deep down and got his man complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Kill. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Hey, look.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Mayfield looks to throw. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the...
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Mayfield on play action. That's taken in by Callaway.
Brings up 3rd down.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, alert 33. Hey, alert 33.
On third down, here's Jones. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads. Bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. They go play action. Mayfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. He completes it to Jones. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The kick by Joseph is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
1st down, Pittsburgh.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On 1st down, it's Samuels. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Ricky. Alert 3.
On 2nd down now. It's Connor trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Steelers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Trying to get the first with Samuels. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. Got what he needed for the 1st down with a gain of 2.
I used to joke with my teammates who carried the ball a lot. When we got in these situations and they were carrying us home, I used to tell them, boy, you guys just look like Paul Bunyan, just growing stronger, bigger, tougher. And all night long, he's carried this team.
He has indeed. Everything magnified right now. A huge 3rd down conversion. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. This is caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A really good pickup of 28 yards. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Samuels. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jalen Samuels, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Throwing, Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Mayfield on 4th down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. They'll run on 1st down. Samuels. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left. And then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Staying on the ground with Samuels. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Here we go. 18 Gators. Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
And they will take a knee here. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. The kick by Bryant is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Mayfield. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 32-yard line.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Now Mayfield. Complete to Jones. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So we're back to a 1-score game, and now you figure we'll likely see an onside kick.
Yeah, they've only got the 1 timeout remaining, so I think they've got to take a chance at getting the ball back.
And it's the Steelers that come up with it. And that should just about do it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Pittsburgh, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they go down to defeat for just the 2nd time in 11 games so far. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.